Hello everybody, Anti-Breeder1M here and welcome back to my channel. In this video I want to talk about how veganism and antinatalism are not often seen as the same thing, whereas they should be. And they should really be a universal term to describe both of them. So when we talk about breeding, we talk about breeding animals other than humans, for the most part. When I refer to breeding myself, when I say people should not breed, what I refer to is both humans and animals, regardless of species, and without distinction or discrimination between those two species. So I still think that there's an element of human supremacism in the idea that when we say we are against breeding, it means that we are only against breeding animals other than humans. If we look at the term vegantinatalism, it's a combination of words. Veganism is a system of thought that purports to avoid breeding, to avoid consumption of animals. And antinatalism is a system which purports to avoid the breeding of either humans, by one definition, or all species, by my definition. So I hope that the more convenient definition will be in the future not only a combination of these two things into one thing, but a universal term to describe being vegan and being antinatalist at the same time. At the moment, the only convenient term I can think of is vegantinatalism, which is a term which is hard to say and which is also rather inconvenient in terms of the fact that it's like a blending of two different meanings. So yeah, that's my take on the concept of veganism and antinatalism. So hopefully I can say more about, so I'd say at the moment a lot of people in the vegan community are resistant to the idea of antinatalism, and I think that if these two ideas are blended into one word and that word becomes an ideology in itself, it will encourage more people to subscribe to the other ideology as a collective concept. And for that reason, I might want to think of a neologism for vegantinatalism. I'm in a Facebook group at the moment called Vegan Debates. I think it's called Vegan Debate or Vegan Debates, and most of the vegans in that particular group are very resistant to the concept of antinatalism because they see breeding their own children as an innate right which should not be taken away from them, which I find very sad because we all know by this stage that the choice to have one less child in this world, one less human child in this world, is the single most important thing we can do to reduce our negative environmental impact on the world. So that's why I believe it's so important to be an antinatalist, and to be a vegan is only the start of the journey for being a vegantinatist. So hopefully in the future we'll see less resistance to antinatalism in the future. There are a few Facebook groups which are specifically antinatalist, including a Facebook group called Positive Antinatalists, which is a very, very good name because a lot of antinatalists are actually very negative people. They publicize the idea that humankind is a very negative thing, and I want to encourage people to think of antinatalism in positive terms because I see it as a concept which is ultimately very conservative, and very respectful of the environment and of humans and non-human animals as well. It's respectful of the environment because we're trying to control the population. We're not trying to eradicate the population like the human population. We're trying to control it. We're trying to keep it to a level which is sustainable for the earth and not going to pollute the earth or cause it to boil over into a terrible and destructive environment. Okay folks, that's my take on it, and I will see you later in the next video. Hope you enjoyed it.